Well, it was in Nam, 67, 68. Got there in July of 67. Turned 19 and 20 in Nam. Started out just as a regular rifleman, and during a major battle, had 3 radio men get hit, and somebody had to carry the radio. And I volunteered, which they always advise you not to do, but I became a squad man, a radio man that day, September 6th of 67, and graduated up to a platoon radio man. Eventually became the company radio man for Delta Company, and did that, was with the company for 11 and a half months, so carrying the radio. We had some mini reunions a few years after Nam, and then sort of drifted off, but now I finally came to one of these major reunions in 2003, and try not to miss one now, and also belong to Quezon Veterans Organization. And as a matter of fact, we'll be leaving here. I'll be proceeding to Cleveland for the Quezon Veterans reunion next week. So back-to-back reunions. So yeah, we try to stay close. You know, as I always make the comment, probably the closest bonds you'll ever have are guys that you know, you went through a war with. So, and I was involved with quite a few major battles, actually in a history book, one of them, Lions of Medina, which was a major book that was written a few years ago. Ended up getting in that book. I never thought I'd be in a history book, written by Doyle Glass. And then experienced Quezon, and went through some traumatic events there. Probably the most traumatic and thing, I know you're interested in, probably in little vignettes like this, but the thing that I have to live and die with every day. I had been there 11 months. The next day we were scheduled to walk up to 861 from 558, different hills in the Quezon area. And they offered me the chaplain's assistant position. They knew I went to Mass all the while I was in the field, and I thought about it. Sounded good, but I said, nah, I've been with these guys for 11 and a half. I can make it another month and a half. We walked up the next day, and unfortunately walked all the way to the top of the hill. Got to the top of the hill, I switched radios with the battalion radio man. I told the gunny, I says, Gunny, let's go find our bunker. I was hot, tired, thirsty. So we did. We went up through the wire. I switched radios. Just as we got into the trench line, a major explosion. We thought, I said, Gunny, we're getting mortared, and nothing. And then Corpsman up, we heard it. And unfortunately, one of our guys had stepped on a bouncing Betty. And he was KIA, and it also killed my skipper, who I was carrying a radio for. So that was like my 9th life, that I had dodged a bullet, so to speak. So at that point in time, the gunny came to me that night and he says, hey Griff, the chaplain's coming back up tomorrow to do a memorial service. You want to reconsider? And I said, you know what, gunny? Maybe I should. Of course, flying around the hills on a helicopter at Quezon wasn't any picnic either, but at any rate, I did that. I said, under one condition, that you make my buddy Woody the company radio man. And he said, yeah, we can do that, Griff, we'll do that. Unfortunately, on July 5th of 68, about a month later, a month and a half later, during the battle on Operation Charlie on 689, Delta Company was in major battle. And unfortunately, my buddy was killed with 28 days left in the Marine Corps. So I've been living with that for almost 50 years now. Think about it every day. What if? What if I hadn't have done that, you know? Those are the kinds of things that, you know, you just never get out of the back of your mind.